Hi, welcome back to my channel. I haven't recorded a video in a little while because I've been really kind of struggling with what I want to do next, and so I just haven't done it. I'm trying to work on it, but I really, I think I've said in multiple videos, I always want to be really authentic, and I was thinking just now about something that I thought maybe I could share with you guys. People have said in a couple of the comments, they're like, well, you have this or that, so you probably don't have AVPD. I have a boyfriend and I have children, so I probably don't have AVPD. And I want to go into that story in a different video, but I also want to explain something about myself that maybe has helped me, and maybe it'll help you as well. I'm the type of person that I have this kind of crazy drive where I know that I'm gonna need to prepare. I want to prepare all the time. I make lists, I make preparedness bags and things like that. So I'm always trying to prepare for the future. And I recognized that my children are going to need a lot, right? They're going to need to go to college. They're going to need to, they're going to need like athletic equipment and school supplies and food and things like that. And I'm going to need to figure out how to pay for that. And I have a man, and he's, doing his part as well, and he's doing great. But I'm a very independent person. I don't want to depend on other people. So I know that if like anything were to ever happen to him or with us, I'm going to need to be prepared. And I had to recognize that I did not have the skills to take care of myself and my children if he were not there. And so I realized I'm going to have to really change everything about myself in order to succeed. So I looked at my situation financially, and I was like, well, I had worked in service industries and I was really bad at it. Being an avoidant person, every time I had to talk to any customer, I fucking hated it every single time. Like, I don't think it was ever one time easy. It was always like, you just got to do it because they're paying you, and this is the only job that you were offered. So I'm like shaking just thinking about it. Oh my God, I was like the world's worst waitress for like 3 months. And oh my God, my first customer was like livid. My very first customer as a waitress, like I pissed this guy off so bad that he was like, I, he like yelled at my manager. I got yelled at by my manager, who was a horrible, mean, horrible person. And it was a whole ordeal. But every single time I had to deal with a customer, which was every day, hundreds of people, it was always just like soul wrenching. I hated every moment of it. But it was all I had, right? And so after I had children, I was like, okay, I can't keep doing this. It's killing me. Like, I just, being around these people is draining me. They're mean. I don't know how to deal with them. I don't want to ever talk to them. It's just, it was horrible. So I did that for like 10 years because I had no skills. And so I was like, okay, what can I do to get myself out of this? And I was like, I need to start a business. What's a good business to do? House cleaning. If you do house cleaning, it's very little overhead, very little risk. It's a good business to like start out with. Unfortunately, you still have to find customers, but most of those customers will leave while you clean their house. So if you can have like a 10-minute conversation with them, then they'll leave, and you can just work by yourself or with one person that you are like, that you've hired yourself, that you are comfortable with. And so that's what I did. And I started this little business, and it's like doing all right, but because I'm afraid to go out and talk to people, I stall and I stall and I stall, and eventually it's just gotten to the point where I'm like, it's forced me to realize that I have a lot of skills I need to learn in order to have a better future. And I didn't realize any of those, that I was lacking in a lot of those areas, until I really jumped head first into something that made me incredibly uncomfortable. And the business is not going great. I don't know what I'm doing, and I've definitely made a bunch of mistakes, but hopefully it won't cost me too much money because it's such slow overhead. But the business part of it has not been successful, which is great that I picked such a low risk business. But however, it has helped me. It has propelled me into doing really uncomfortable things and finding ways to be less uncomfortable with those things. For instance, I went to a bar last night and I hung out with people and I was like legitimately comfortable there. It was a little awkward at first, but it was cool, you know, like I knew a couple of people there and I had good conversations with people and I was able to kick it and not feel really awkward and weird. I did get too drunk though. So, and that's always been kind of my crutch, is like if I cannot be sober, then I get along with people better, and that's not a good thing to do. That's not a good crutch to have. I need to have something else, and I've been getting better at that something else since just deciding to just jump headfirst into the whole business thing. And I'm not recommending that you go start a business, but I am recommending that if you are an avoidant person, there's really no way around it. You just kind of have to continuously put yourself into really, really uncomfortable situations. And when you're avoidant, you want to avoid doing that. And what's worked for me is putting myself into situations that I cannot back out of, right? Like I have to go to work because I have to pay my bills. I have to change my future. And in order to change my future, I cannot find a way to make enough money to do that without learning how to run a business. Doing this small business has taught me what I need to learn to run a successful business. This one is not going to be successful, but the next one might be a little bit more successful. So I guess my advice is just put yourself in a situation that you can't get out of. And the more you do that, the more you can realize things about yourself. And once you realize those things, that's kind of like the first step. It's like finding the path. Once you find that obstacle, you know that's the way. The obstacle is the way. Once you find like, okay, I'm very avoidant. Number one, that's one thing that I've discovered. So I know that there are ways to combat that, right? Number two, I've realized that I am so avoidant, I'm afraid to contact people who can help me in my business situation, right? Like tax people and fucking, what do you call those people? I don't even know what they're called. People help you with money and stuff. But I realized I need a team. I need a team of people to help me out with this. And so that's something I didn't realize before, and now that's my obstacle. I don't have a team. I need to find a team. Okay, that's the way. Find a team of people. So I found the obstacle. I don't have a team. I don't have this knowledge. How do I get that knowledge in those teams? That's the obstacle. I got to figure out how to get past it. So I've discovered the path. That's the path. The path forward is to communicate with people that can actually help me. Okay, well that's another problem. I'm not very good at communicating. Okay, well that's the obstacle. I got to figure out how to communicate. And that's what I've been working on. I found this class on Udemy. No, it's on Audible, actually, audible.com. And it's one of the great courses, and it was included with the membership, and it was The Art of Storytelling. And it's a very interesting course, and it was one of the ways that I've decided that that I can get better at communicating is by storytelling, by having anecdotes, by figuring out how to introduce myself, how to crack jokes, how to have good timing, things like that. So those are the things I've been practicing so that I can be a better communicator. And honestly, as scary as it is, if you learn certain tricks, maybe I should do a video on that, but if you learn certain tricks, it's easier to speak to people. As awkward as it always is probably going to be for me, I'm finding little tricks to get around that awkwardness. Like, there's different things. You can get people to talk about themselves. You can get people to smile. You can get people to ask you questions. You can critique people a lot. You can get people to tell you about whatever they're working on. Like I had a whole conversation with a guy the other day about his classic car. I just had him like explain stuff to me because he had this beautiful car that he's working on. He's restoring it and everything, and so I had him go around and like point out the things to me that he was working on, and he loved it. He was having a great conversation, and it was fun, and it was rewarding to me because I was like, holy shit, I just made this guy feel really good about himself, and I had a successful conversation. What? So yeah, I just wanted to say that as difficult as it is to just be an avoidant person, and like you're doing that to yourself, right? Like you are being avoidant. You could just not be avoidant, right? And but that's ridiculous, seemingly, right? Like to me, I'm like, okay, just it's like telling a person who's having an anxiety attack, well, just stop having an anxiety attack. You should just not do that. And they're looking at you like, no. So, obviously, it's gonna be, you can't just not be avoidant, I suppose, but you can trick yourself. I think you can throw yourself into situations that you just can't get out of. And for me, that was working. And then now it's trying to run this business. And now I'm going to have to go probably take some classes and go through some more therapy, do some more journaling. Another really good one that I found was there's a great course on Stoicism. And that one's really interesting for just introspection and finding areas where you can improve, and when you improve in those areas, it has kind of like a ripple effect, and it changes other areas of your life as well. And so I'm just trying to jump in feet first, head first, however the saying goes, to whatever I just can't back out of, making actual commitments to myself, making sure that it's something that I can do, setting acquirable goals, and rewarding myself when I acquire those goals, making challenges for myself. Just there are certain things that you can do in order to just force yourself to move forward, because your brain's never gonna just do it. Your brain's like, no, I don't want to do anything, but you have to tell your brain, we have to do this thing because we have to move forward in our life, and we're just stuck here. If we avoid things forever, you never move forward. You're trying to avoid the obstacle, but the obstacle is the way, right? So if you're avoiding the obstacle, you're avoiding the way forward. So you got to find the obstacle and you got to remove it. So or get around it or get over it or whatever you got to do. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Let me know what you guys think. I'm not even gonna edit this video. I kind of was just, I smoked some weed. So FYI, if that's something that offends you, then I understand. But sometimes I'll take like a small dab, and then my mind just starts racing. I want to talk, so that's what this is. Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more brilliant videos like this one. All right, bye.